I'm Dalia Reyes. I'm the Director of Contemporary Art here at Galerie Camille. I'm here with our current artist, Richard Lewis. We're here to talk about his current exhibition, Works in Progress. It's up until September 11th, and we'll be going over his work. I hope you will join us. Okay, so thank you so much, Richard, for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. Your last show here was in 2018. I wasn't here, but I'm so honored to be here to do this with you. And typically when we do an artist talk, I talk a little bit about everything from when we first started to your mid-career to the show. So we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Do you want to talk about the show, or should we talk about how this all started? What would you like?
Up to you.
Okay, so I think it's always important to give people that background, because the art background, because I think of the emerging artists and the established artists, and how our stories can be so similar, right? And for you, and from what I've researched and just from conversations with you, you had an early exposure to art through your family, your godmother encouraging you, through maybe pop culture, what we watched on TV. Catholic Church, right? The imagery, the iconography. I was going to say that, yeah, the iconography, and maybe like the glorifying of an image or of a person.
The heroism.
The heroism, right. And so that, would you say that is the foundation, or one that was the foundation of where your work kicked off?
Those things like held on in my work to this day. Mm-hmm. You know, the heroism of it, mm-hmm. the stories mm-hmm. of the Bible. And though I never actually read the Bible, mm-hmm. but I used to have my mother had a nun come over mm-hmm. like every week, and we do like something like Bible study. Mm-hmm. And even then, that person used art mm-hmm. to teach mm-hmm. the Bible. She used images. Mm-hmm. So that heroism, those stories about the Bible, and then eventually beginning to see, you know, Black people as biblical characters, mm-hmm. you know, our stories being that important, you know, mm-hmm. and so that was always there, mm-hmm. you know, and from then, and then actually making art, mm-hmm. you know, I was blessed enough to have a godmother who was an artist, mm-hmm. who, you know,
who was a professional, like was she? A
professional artist. She
right.
was a printmaker. She made crafts. She made. She was into pottery, mm-hmm. ceramics. Mm-hmm. She was an expert at glazes, mm-hmm. you know, mm-hmm. and she worked at Pewabic Pottery. Mm-hmm. And taught places too. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's a natural teacher, mm-hmm. you know. And she, you know, saw that I was beginning to lean in the direction of an artist, mm-hmm. you know. And she used to tell me later on, she said, I marked you. Mm-hmm. I knew you were going to be an artist mm-hmm. because I made you one, mm-hmm. you know. And she did, and thank goodness she did, you know. But when I was 10 years old, talking about my godmother, mm-hmm. she told me to look at people's faces mm-hmm. and then go in the next room and draw, mm-hmm. which is a wonderful mm-hmm. exercise mm-hmm. for anybody, mm-hmm. you know. And she did it right at the right time, you know, before I knew that you just can't do that. You have to pay thousands of dollars and go to a school, and then you learn how to do that. You know, she just said, go do it. And I did. And, you know, like I said, the first time I did it, it was at a party that my parents were throwing. They were animated and expressive, and they were drunk and happy, you know. And when I did it, I went in and I drew my first relative, and I looked at it and fell out laughing, and I knew I was good then.
You captured, you captured the silliness.
I surprised myself and laughed, you know. I said, oh, okay, great. And then I did my grandmother, I got my aunt, I got my mother and father, and each one right after the other, I just really got them, you know. So it was like caricature and portraiture happening at the same time, and I felt I had the makings of it then, you know.
Yeah, you were drawing their personalities too.
Yeah, and it was great that they were so expressive that night, you know, that they were like exaggerated.
Yeah,
you know, animated. They were who they were, but they exaggerated. You know, and I've always thought that was, you know, key component in portraiture anyway, to have that, to be able to go as far as caricature and then reel it back into regular portraiture, you know. And then sometime shortly after that, she bought me some paint, some acrylic paint, and said, okay, now you're going to make paintings.
Did you find that an easy transition from like drawing and drafting?
Yeah, it was all the same thing.
Okay.
Because no one had ever told me you can't do that.
Right.
You know, that that's one level and this is another level, you know. So you do everything. If she had told me to sculpt, I would have sculpted back then, you know. If she had said, now put found objects together that are interesting, I would have done it if she had told me to do it. Because she wasn't just saying, she was giving me permission to do things, you know, and I wanted to do things anyway. So if someone had demonstrated to me that it was possible, I would have done it, you know, because that's how kids are. Nobody, until you tell them you can't, you can, you know. So that's how it was then, you know. I had gotten that heroism, that initial spark from the church, from you know, popular culture and all of that, and then encouragement from you know, from my family.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because would you say for as long as you could remember that your work is about family history and struggle and, you know, all these things?
Yeah, like I can find the whole world within portraits of my family. I can bring in different influences. They can be artistic and they can be political, and they can all work their way into it. And I can even make it narrative if I want. You know, I can push in this direction. Like I can start a portrait that can be just a person sitting there, or it can be a person sitting there watching TV. I can push it to iconography, not just Catholic, but Benin sculpture. Was a Congo, you know, where they do the Nkisi. I mean, I do that. I get influences from that, and I feel I can push it in that direction, because the African sculptors, they worked from life anyway. I mean, you know, if you're black, you go into the museum and you see African sculpture, and some of them start looking like your aunts and uncles. It's because that's who they were working from, you know. And they perfected it into geometric design, and it was like, you know, they could really, you know, bend it and twist it and push it in any direction they want, you know. And I feel I can do the same too. Just, give yourself over to the art form
Yes.
and just, surrender to it and learn from it. And you can get things from it.
All right. That's great advice. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you.
Wonderful talking with you.
You too.
And do you have any updates, any upcoming shows or anything you would like to leave us with?
No, I'm going to get
Continue
these
working.
paintings back from this show and finish them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, we'll touch base with you again then.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.